Star Wars is real, or at least the premises of Star Wars is real. We know from archaeology that we are not even reached the limits of what prior civilizations have reached. If you look at Genesis, in the third generation of Cain, it says they had got into metallurgy, but our our ancestors didn't discover or really get into metallurgy until about 800 to 1000 AD. And if they had got into metallurgy that early, in the 1600 years that existed, they could have surpassed where we are tenfold, been 100 years ahead of what we are now. If they would have listened to Nikola Tesla, we would have been 100 years ahead of where we are right now, in a way. But actually, they were doing things the way they were supposed to have been done, naturally. Getting the energy through natural fields that are all around us, through the air and the water and soil and the fire, then they would have been a lot further ahead of us than we are now. And the things we've dug up in archaeology have proven that they were a lot further ahead of us. We just haven't figured out what all it is. And vibration is the key to most of it, I guarantee. But they show you all this in movies, that we used to be further ahead, that we used to be more advanced, that we used to have better powers and better ways of doing things, better ways of cutting things, better ways of healing people. And a lot of these animals they show in movies are real too. Like in Star Wars, where they were the big creature that was in the ground that was eating people. And in Texas, there is a big creature that they call the flesh pit. It's actually ate like, I don't remember how, like 80 people or something like that in an observatory. They built in his throat. Um, and this, at least last time I looked, was pretty easily found on the internet. The Texas flesh pits. Look it up. If I can figure out how to put it on here, I'll upload it here later. And there are rumors of underground things like the Tremors movie. There's all kinds of documentaries of dragons from all kinds of years. There's actual documentaries on just about everything of that they've shown in movies as fake stuff. And they put this in movies to make you believe that it's not real, that it's all fake. But Meg, the movie Meg, which was about the Megalodon, was a movie that was put out telling you that the Megalodons still exist. I mean, if it was an absolute science that these things were extinct, then how come you can't get an absolute date on when they went extinct? I've heard some people say that they went extinct 1.5 million years ago. Some people say 2.5 million years ago. Some people say 3.5 million years ago. But the last one that was supposedly caught was in 1700 something. I mean, and they came back with the skeleton, but it was eaten on the way back because the shark was bigger than the boat that was hauling it, but because they didn't have the actual body, as in science always is, it was said to not be real. But they do that with everything. I mean, the first time they found a duck-billed platypus, just because it wasn't alive, they said it was fake, that somebody had sewed a bunch of creatures together. But once they found it alive and real, then they decided, oh, well, this is a real animal. I mean, there were people that supposedly tracked down and killed Sasquatches in South America back in the 50s, but since they lost the bodies on the way back, even though they had the photographic evidence, they said it was fakeries. Which, you never know, but they really try to tell us that this stuff didn't exist. And now they're just now starting to figure out that the stones that are created by nature conduct energy 10 times better than the silicone made by man. That they're going to try to go to diamonds to move energy instead of silicone. That's why they use gold and silver to conduct electricity, because those are the greatest conductors. I mean, they're just now starting to figure out the tip of the iceberg on what technology can be. And of course, this creation will be killed out before we really hit it. But I was just wanting you to know that were a lot further along a long time ago. If you don't believe me, then look at the pyramids all over the world, and why they all had harmonic frequencies in them. They all had great pitches in them, and tuning forks, and they were all built by the same people for some reasons. And regardless of what they say, you know, we used to be able to walk all over the world. The waters have rose and we can't do it anymore, but we used to be able to walk everywhere in the world. I mean, there's usually only about 50 feet below the surface of the ocean that there's land again. And they found civilizations all underneath the ocean. They just, when they find these things, they don't allow them to explore there anymore, or call it a dead story, that there's nothing there. Or it's natural occurrences, natural formations that they don't need to investigate. There are people hiding things from you. There are people that really do run the world. The super elitists, the ones that run the world banks, the ones that control everything, the media, the gas companies, the social media, the porn industry, the music industry, the entertainment industry. I mean, these people own everything, control everything, and control everything you see, everything they want you to know. You know, the education, the healthcare systems, everything. And if you don't believe this, listen to George Carlin. He told us all 10 years ago. It's a big club, and you're not a member of it. But that was just kind of my daily rant. Really study, check into it. You will find out I'm right about this stuff as much as can be shown in a way. And as always, aloha, and may you be blessed.